Hey, thanks for checking out my video. Today we're going to make sour cream coffee cake. It's delicious. I've made it a million times. I got the recipe from Sally's Baking Addiction. I use a lot of her recipes. They're always good. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is you need an 8x8 pan, and you really want 8x8, not like 9x9, because you want the coffee cake to be thick enough. If it gets real, if you use a bigger pan and it's real thin, it's not as moist or as good. So an 8-inch pan is perfect. I'm going to spray it. You could use parchment paper, but I have this pan that has really good non-stick on it, so nothing ever sticks in there, so I'm just going to use that. And now we're going to make the topping, the crumb topping. Some goes through the middle and some goes on the top. For the topping, the streusel, I guess you would call it, you have to have cold butter to start out with, and you need 6 tablespoons. So I've got half a cup here, which is 8 tablespoons. So I'm going to take 6, and I'm going to cut it into cubes just to make it easier for myself when I make the. You want the butter and the brown sugar and everything to be all crumbly. So you want the butter cold. It's much easier. Okay, so to our cold butter, we're going to add 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar. You can use light or dark. I'm using light. 1/3, 2/3. And 3/4 cup flour, just all-purpose flour. Half a cup plus 1/4 cup. I'm just trying to chop my butter up a little bit better, because that's the whole idea, is that you have little pieces of butter in with the brown sugar. And we need 2½ teaspoons of cinnamon. 1, 2 1/2. So this is going to be the topping, and it's also going to go through the middle of the coffee cake. This is the good part right here. I'm going to use the end of this whisk to break up my butter some more. It does a pretty good job and makes it pretty quick. Doesn't have to be, they don't have to be perfectly broken up into tiny little pieces, but you just don't want real big chunks of butter, so I'm just hitting the big chunks that I see here. And I've got the oven preheating to 350. Okay, so this is going to be our topping and our through the middle streusel swirl. So I'm going to set that aside. And now we're going to get started with the batter. So people always ask me about this mixer. It's a Nutrimil Artiste mixer. I love it. I have had it for about 5 years. Haven't brought my KitchenAid out one time since I got it, because I love this thing. I did a review on it if you want to check out my videos at Rhonda's Thrifty Kitchen, and I talk about all the things that I love about it. And if you're interested in one, I'll put a link down in the description. Okay, so we're going to start our butter creaming, and you need 1 full stick. going to let this go for a couple minutes so the butter gets nice and light and airy, and then we'll finish. So now we're going to add our eggs, 2 eggs, and I will put a link to the recipe down in the description. I'm going to add the vanilla. I need 2 teaspoons. And I'm going to add the sour cream, and it's a cup of sour cream. Half a cup. One cup. One and a third cup. And I'm going to go ahead and put our baking soda and baking powder right in there with it so it all sips in together. I need a teaspoon of baking powder. And a quarter teaspoon of baking soda. And salt, quarter teaspoon of salt. Okay. So instead of dirtying another bowl, all I dirtied was this strainer so that I could sift the flour. And it says 2 tablespoons of milk. So I'm just going to use some whole milk here, but you could use 2% or whatever you have on hand. Okay, and that's it. You don't want to overmix it. So I think that's good. Okay, so we're ready to get our cake ready to go in the oven. We're going to take about half of our batter. And now I'm going to sprinkle about half of this streusel brown sugar butter mixture over the middle of it. This is going to be the yummy middle of the coffee cake. And now I'm going to put the rest of the batter on top of that. Okay, so we've got the rest of the batter on there, and now the rest of the topping goes on. And this is what makes it so good. Just gonna kind of Okay, we're back. Our coffee cake is baked and cooled. I've had to test my patience waiting for it to cool because I really want to eat some of it. So now we're going to make like a glazed frosting that we're going to drizzle over the top of it. So I have a cup of powdered sugar here, and it takes about 2 tablespoons of milk. Both my sets of measuring spoons are in the dishwasher right now though, so I'm going to have to use a regular spoon. And my husband doesn't like nuts on his coffee cake, but to me, the nuts are the best part of it. So here's what you do when you have to compromise. I need just a little more milk. Sometimes I'll put, you know, nuts on half of it, but it looks a little goofy, like I want to take a picture of this after I'm done with it, and so I didn't want it to have half and half. So anyway, what I did is I took a little bit of butter and put it on the stove in a frying pan, and then I threw in a couple handfuls of pecans that are chopped up, and so I butter toasted these pecans. So now when I cut myself a piece, I'm just gonna, you know, put a handful of nuts on top of mine, and then he gets his without nuts and I get mine with nuts. Can usually find a way around it if somebody doesn't like something and someone else in the family does. Okay, so our frosting is done here. Now normally I would just drizzle this haphazardly without worrying about what it looks like, but I want to take a picture of this, so I'm going to put the frosting in a piping bag and pipe it. Well, not really pipe it because it's too thin to technically be piped, but I will drizzle it this way and it will be neater. But definitely, if I was not making this for anything special, I would just normally just drizzle it right over the top with, either I would stick a whisk in it and just keep dipping the whisk in the frosting and, you know, going like that. That's how I would normally do it. Okay. Smells so good. Okay, so now I'm gonna have a piece of it and I'm gonna put some pecans on mine. And if you take a look at the cake, you can see the swirl of cinnamon that goes through the middle. Yum, yum, yum. And these are my butter toasted pecans. So to me, that is the perfect piece right there. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you make it, send me a comment, and I'd love to know what you thought of it and whether you put nuts in it or you didn't. Check out any of my other videos. My YouTube channel is Rhonda's Thrifty Kitchen, and my website is rhondasthriftykitchen.com, and all my recipes and videos are there too. So do me a favor, click on subscribe. It's free to you, and it helps me to be able to make more videos. So thanks for checking out my video today, and I'll see you soon.